Okay, hello, new interns. We are back with another interview, and today I am speaking with Julia Vargas. Julia, did I say that correctly?
Yeah, Vargas, whoever.
Vargas, okay.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Well, we're here with Julia, and she is, excuse me, she's a category marketing intern with Logitech, which is really, really cool. And I'm wondering, and I'm sure we all are, is how did she get it and what did she do in that role? We'll get into that in a moment. But first things first, I want to ask Julia, how are you?
I'm doing good. Any student could get more sleep, but
Oh, yeah.
pushing through.
Great. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Now, also to get started, I'm hoping to know, as well as I'm sure some of the people watching, Julia, where are you from? Kind of, where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I'm from Pleasanton, California, East Bay, but I still live here. I commute to school, so still where I grew up, so it's fun to still be
Awesome.
here.
And then I was, following that is, how long is the commute and where are you going to school? What's your major?
Yeah, I go to San Jose State University and I'm studying public relations. And I am a senior, so I'm graduating this May. I'm so excited to graduate.
Nice.
I know, yes. I have senioritis. I'm trying to complete everything so I get a good grade. But yeah, my commute, it depends. It sucks this semester because I have a morning class at
Ouch.
10. So yeah, it could take like an hour to get to school, but it's not that bad. But last semester I had to go during rush hour around like 5, so
Yikes.
it's not
That could have
fun.
been an
But
hour and a half, 2 hours maybe.
yeah,
My problem is, you mentioned morning drives. I literally fall asleep on the road if I drive for longer than like maybe
Oh.
an hour. So,
Uh-huh.
I mean, is that a problem for you, falling asleep in the mornings? Because there's no way I could do that.
no, because I always get angry at cars around me. Like people try to hit me every day, so I'm always like
It keeps you up.
yelling in my brain like, "Oh my god, you're so stupid!" Like to people. So and I have good music playing, so I'm singing and screaming at the same time. So
In a weird way, they keep you safe.
yeah.
And so, Julia, in your free time, right? When you're not doing school, when you're not working, what do you like to do in your free time? Do you have any hobbies or time wasters?
Yeah, so I'm on social media a lot, so I guess that's a huge time waster. I'm always on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. But I also play video games a lot. I usually play on like PC or PlayStation, so that takes up a lot of my time too. I wouldn't call it a time waster though, because I feel like it's still like, it's kind of like reading a book in a way. Like I put those two together. It's like your brain's thinking, like you're doing something productive, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That's what I just tell myself.
Well, especially if you're good at the game, right?
Yeah, I'm really good, yeah. And yeah, I picked up gardening during
Really?
COVID and like house plants. I've been good at not killing them, but yeah, so
That's a good.
my room
yeah,
looks like a forest, so I enjoy it. You can't
that
see
is
anything right
super,
now, but
super cool. And you mentioned gaming. I have to know. I'm not a huge gamer myself. I have like my own little things, but I'm wondering what do you play? What are your favorite? There's no judgment here, by the way.
yeah. Right now, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. I'm not the best at it. I got a W today, so
That's not.
I got a
easy.
W, but it's a no build, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't do building. It's hard.
I didn't know they did that. No.
Yeah,
build.
they just recently came out with that, so I've been doing that. And I recently got Hogwarts Legacy, so I've been
cool.
trotting around Hogwarts and having fun as a Hufflepuff.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I respect those choices. Honestly,
Thank
I thought
you.
you were going to say something like League of Legends or Valorant. I hear those a lot from people.
I can't play that. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm not good.
Well, thanks for sharing that a little bit about yourself. It always helps to know who I'm talking to, before we start. You are a real human being with real human interests. That's awesome.
Yes.
But as for your role, your current role, could you tell us, I've spoiled your title and your company, but if you could reiterate, you know, who you're working for, what your title is, your position, and a little bit about that company, that would be great.
Yeah, so I work for Logitech, and I work for like the gaming department, so it's Logitech G, and we sell anything from like headsets. I'm wearing some right now. Headsets, keyboards, mice, some accessories too. But yeah, we just sell a lot of stuff along with gaming gear. And my role is a category marketing intern. And when I first applied, I had no idea what that even meant. I was just mass applying to tons of places because I'm like, I need something.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I basically just, you know, help my manager out with his day-to-day needs. I attend a lot of his meetings with him. If he needs some of his projects, sometimes it's like tedious. He needs help with like putting in data into Excel, so I'll do all the tedious stuff for him. But we can go more into it later, though, if you want.
Oh,
but
for sure.
I also have like a mentor that I work with, and we actually do influencer marketing together. So I do a lot of fun projects with that as well.
That actually sounds like a lot, and I would have
Yeah.
never guessed that that was all contained in a category marketing title.
Yeah.
Well, Logitech, I don't have any of their gaming keyboards, but I was just using earlier today at work one of their keyboards and then mice, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's awesome. I'm about to interview an intern. So thanks for sharing that. And as for how you were able to get this position, I'm wondering if did you apply on a job site? I think you did, or did you have a referral from a friend, or were you reached out to by Logitech?
Yeah, I applied on LinkedIn. I think I always look on LinkedIn when it comes to jobs, and I think in the summertime, like July to August, is when I was really searching, because I just finished an internship with Ubisoft, which is a gaming company. They make games like Just Dance and Rainbow Six Siege. So I was really, I knew my internship was ending, and they weren't looking for a position for me. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out where to go next. And so I applied to probably like 150 to 200 places because I was going crazy. I was like, I need something right now. And I think it's harder when you're not looking for summer internships. I feel like summer, there's a lot more positions, but if you're going to fall, I feel like companies are not necessarily looking for interns around that time.
Yeah.
So I was just searching for anything, and then Logitech popped up, and I was like, I have no idea what this title is. I'm not studying marketing, but let's do it. You know, I was like, whatever, I'm going to try it out. But yeah, I'm glad I did because it worked out in the end.
That's really cool. And 150 to 200 applications that is no joke. You worked for that.
Yeah, it was terrible, but
There's
you
a
have
lot of us, you know, I'm guilty of this as well, where I'll put in maybe like 5 to 15 applications and become frustrated with the fact that I haven't gotten some sort of an offer. You know, there's people out there putting in, like yourself, hundreds. So, wow. Now, this isn't in the question sheet, but I am curious, were most of those applications, were they resume and cover letter, or was a large percentage of those, you know, the easy applies on LinkedIn? Like, because I'd imagine, are you creating new cover letters for every single one? How is that process?
I usually, I wish I like kind of had more resumes for like the titles that I was applying to, because I was just using the same one over and over again. So I felt like learning now, you know, I've learned from my mistakes. I would probably make like, you know, different resumes based on the applications I was setting out. But yeah, I was just using the same resume out. But I remember like writing cover letters for a couple of places, but it was more for game studios that were looking for kind of entry-level positions. It wasn't necessarily internships. I was just hoping that I would get into it, even though I knew I wouldn't, because it's like a full-time job, and I couldn't do that because I'm a student. But yeah, it was mainly for like entry-level. I had to do those cover letters.
So there were some cover letters, but the majority you were able to get by with the resume.
Yeah.
That's solid. And what exactly were you putting into? You just came across it, but what types of internships were you searching for? Like literally into the search bar for LinkedIn. What did you
I was searching like I really wanted to get into community management because that's what I want to do in the future. So it was either like I was searching like social media internships, and then I would put like gaming at the end, and it would like filter out for like gaming companies or something relating to that, maybe startup companies. And I would do that as well for like community management internships or, something along the lines of that. So I was just searching everywhere I could for an opportunity. And I'm not sure, I think LinkedIn recommended me that job because I don't think I even was trying to search that out, the like content marketing, because I wouldn't even know what that, or category marketing, because I don't even know what that is. So I think they recommended it to me because I was on the prowl for a job.
Yeah. Hey, and that's awesome that it came up in your feed, in your LinkedIn feed. So, how long would you say after having submitted your application, did it take for them to reach out? And then what was the interview process like? Were there 30 interviews? Was there one? What was it?
Yeah, so I remember when I sent it out, I can't remember if I applied like during the summer or if it was around like August. I'll say it was around August, and I think I was feeling kind of like defeated because I wasn't getting anything. So I was just trying to think like, okay, maybe I'll go into retail and not, apply anymore to places and just focus on school. And then I think a couple weeks later, I got a phone call, which was weird because usually you get like an email like saying, hey, we're really interested in you.
Yeah.
Let's, and so I almost didn't answer it because it didn't have a caller ID. It was just like, I was like, oh my God. Like, and I never answer like phone calls. So it was weird. So I was like, okay, I'll just answer it. And it was one of the recruiting people from Logitech. And
awesome.
I was like, oh my God, this is happening. And so they wanted to, my now manager wanted to talk with me, just to interview me. And it was like the next couple days actually, because they wanted like this process to start going. Like they wanted somebody like starting the next couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So they wanted it really quick. So I talked with my manager like a few days later, and then he wanted me to talk to his boss a few days later, and then I had an interview with my now mentor who does influencer marketing, and she I had an interview with her. So once they all got the okay, that's when I could start working for them. And that took like less than 2 weeks. I had like 3 interviews that took less than 2 weeks. And then I got like the okay from them that, I got the job. Yeah, so it happened really quick.
The moment of applying to essentially getting the yes was around 2 weeks.
Yeah, around then. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Expedited process. What do you think, or in your experience doing these interviews, what were your interviewers, what were they most curious to know about you? What were they most interested in?
Yeah, so my manager from the start, he wanted to make me comfortable and be like, I just want to get to know you as a person. I don't want this to be like a really like scary interview. All we did was really talk about games, which was a lot of fun. We like talked about our favorite games that we like to play. And, it was just a moment for us to get to know each other better. And of course we did talk about like my previous experiences, but it wasn't as like scary as I thought it was going to be. Although with my now mentor, I thought, that I work with Emily, she does influencer marketing. I thought that was going to be really chill too, but she was actually asking me questions. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to think about this. I was like a little scared. I thought I was going to be scared with my manager or his boss, but that's why you always have to be prepared no matter who you're talking with. And overall, it was a really great experience. I felt like, I had the answers to everything, but more than anything, they just really wanted to get to know you and your personality to see if, you work with their team.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of that across many interns who've mentioned that the interviews it's very significant. Your personality is very significant when you're talking to them. And, another question regarding kind of their perception of you is what do you think earned you this position? So, of course, that you had to earn the interview, and then in the interview there was something that allowed them to choose you? What do you think? Was it mostly your experience or mostly your personality or a mixture of both? What got you this role? If you could speculate, of course. No one knows.
And I always want to ask my manager this, like, so I'm like, what? I think I asked that in my last interview I had with my previous company. I was like, why did you even hire me? Like, I just wanted to know why and see what I could work on in the interview. Because I thought I absolutely bombed that last job that I had. I was so bad. I was so scared. But
with Ubisoft?
Yeah, I was like shaking. Like, it was really bad.
Oh,
but,
God.
Yeah. But with Logitech, I feel like my experience helped a lot that I did work in the gaming industry. I think that boosted kind of my resume up there than the others possibly, just because I am already well known, you know, I know about in like the gaming industry, and, you know, I do have a passion for it. Mm-hmm. But I think also just talking with my manager, I think we did have, you know, that sense of connection when we were talking about video games and just sharing each other's personalities, and we clicked really well. So I think it was, you know, like a 50-50 thing of that, but I know definitely I wouldn't have I wouldn't say I wouldn't have gotten the interview if I didn't work at Ubisoft, but you never know. I feel like it definitely did boost my chances. So,
and so, you know, I also saw, it seems like you have a pretty extensive job history, and Ubisoft definitely helps. What can you share with us? What type of experience did you have coming into this role? You had your Ubisoft internship. I'd love to know a little bit more about that. And then was there anything else prior that you think was relevant to earning this position?
Yeah, so I'll just start like from the beginning. My very first like internship I had was with a startup company for data security. I did content marketing, so it was a lot of editing videos and just creating content for the company. And I enjoyed the experience, but I knew nothing about data security, and I just couldn't retain information about it, so it was so hard. But yeah, I learned a lot about, you know, social media marketing there. And then
I'm sorry to interrupt, but how were you able to, just for that role, how were you able to get that?
I looked, I think one of my professors was talking about the Handshake app.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about it yet, but I think several colleges have it for students where they can look at internships or even entry-level jobs through this application. So I just found it randomly, and I just messaged the recruiter. I'm like, I really wanted this internship because, you know, I'm starting out and I just want to see if this is something I want to get into. And so, yeah, that's kind of how that happened.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I felt like I needed more experience. So I joined my esports club. I joined like the social media team for that. So I felt like I needed more like gaming experience. So that's how I kind of incorporated that into my experience. And I think that's a good way for people to, if they want to get into the gaming industry, try to kind of do that. Because there's so many, you know, departments or titles that you can do with clubs. So you can be like the accountant, the treasury, whatever you want to be. There's so many things you can do. But yeah, I did the social media for that. And then Ubisoft, I think I was just applying on LinkedIn for that one as well. And I don't know how I got into Ubisoft to this day. Like, because I remember the recruiter, she told me there was like 2,000 applicants for this job.
No way.
And I somehow got it. And I forgot to ask why. Like,
it's
why
crazy.
did I? But the thing is, I did have a connection from Ubisoft. I asked him to send out my resume, but he was for like the PR department. So,
okay.
And I was a CRM strategy intern, so they do like email marketing. So I don't know if that made a correlation. I have no idea how I got that job, to be honest.
Wait, you're saying, okay, CRM, you were an intern not for Ubisoft.
I was an intern for Ubisoft, and I was doing CRM strategy.
Oh, okay. So one of your prior positions was actually at Ubisoft, but it was a completely different industry, essentially, is what you're... Or it was a different department. You were doing the
Yes. Yeah.
that one you applied. Okay, you mentioned a connection. I'm not going to pry.
Yeah.
I do love hearing kind of who, when were people able to leverage certain connections, when were they not? Was this someone on, and you don't have to say it, but was it someone on like a family side, like a relative, or someone on a colleague or peer or professor, that sort of level?
So my sister knew this connection. His name's Michael, I believe. Michael. And yes, Michael. Oh my gosh. So we, in my, one of my classes that I actually took last semester, so I haven't met him yet, but my professor actually works with Michael with a PR campaign. So my sister worked with him for one of the games that was coming out, so she knew him from that. And so I asked my sister if I could connect with Michael to see if, if he can send my resume out or if he can help me with tips on how to get into the gaming industry, because it's something I really wanted to get into, but every place was rejecting me and saying, like, get more experience. And I was like, I'm
That's
trying.
what you're trying to do.
I'm trying. So, yeah, he was so helpful, and he was saying, like, yeah, I will, send out your resume and we'll see what happens. So I don't know if my, previous boss at the time saw his message, or I have no idea, but I'll just say, yeah, Michael probably helped me, but they were in two different departments. So again, like, I don't know if it was luck or if he did help, so.
It may, like, essentially, it may or may not have gotten to whoever hired you. But either way, it wasn't like a direct connection to that department. It was like a peripheral, so you still had to earn it.
Yeah.
Well, that clears that up. And that's really, really cool that you were able to essentially break into the gaming industry. Mm-hmm. And 1 out of over 2,000 is crazy.
I don't know.
Wow.
And I thought I bombed that, but whatever. Yeah.
So, kind of, moving towards your role specifically, could you give us another overview? You did at the beginning of the interview, but I'd love if you could do it again. Just another overview of kind of what your role looks like. What are kind of your duties, administrative and project-oriented?
Yeah, so right now, so my manager, he gives me whatever he doesn't want to do. So he's like, I don't want to fill out this data. Can you please do it? I'm like, yes, I will do it for you. And then a lot of the times I will create, if there's like a new project he's working on, I'll help him set up like a Google slide for it, make it pretty, make sure that it has all the content that he needs on it. And also he recently has me doing like a newsletter for our team, just to show the rest of the company, just the projects that we've completed and other, stuff that needs to be talked about, like new products, or like if there's a PR review that went really well, just to send that out just to show everyone, all the hard work that they've done within our team. And I have a mentor, Emily. She's amazing, and she does influencer marketing. So it was kind of interesting because my manager is like, oh yeah, you'll help me, and you'll also help, your mentor, Emily, which she does influencer marketing. And he added that in because I think he realized that I am more going into social media. He wanted to make sure that I was more interested, and he didn't want to feel like I was wasting my time, even though I didn't think that. But he's like, I want you to still get the experience that you want. So I was really grateful for that. And with her, I handle our partnerships, like their birthdays. I send them out goodies, so I have to stalk them to see, what they like. I recently sent Captain Sparkles a cake, so that was fun.
No way!
Yeah, I'll send you the link to that.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's my first time ordering a custom cake, and it was so hard, but I made it through. And, but yeah, and I don't think I'm able to talk about it in depth right now, but I also
worries.
Yeah, we came out recently like with a Mandalorian headset with our Astro line. So,
Okay.
keeping up with trends. I don't know if you know, Pedro Pascal's like going crazy on TikTok. Everyone
No.
loves him. Do you know
Who is
about that?
he? No.
Oh,
I, I'm not. I think my feed is just completely different.
yeah, obviously, because mine is all Pedro Pascal. So, Pedro Pascal, he's the Mandalorian, and
Oh god.
he's in The Last of Us too. Have you know about The Last of Us?
Which is a show that I haven't seen. But I know about that, at least. I know it exists.
Okay, but anyways, everyone's fangirling over him because he's Pedro Pascal, okay? So this is a great opportunity to, to get our brand out there because everyone's fangirling over him and we just came out with
Right.
a headset. So I reached out to Influencer recently and we're currently in the works of sending them like a package. So it was just exciting to I'm like looking on my phone. I'm like, oh wait, this would be a good idea to send this person something because they're like screaming about Pedro Pascal being cute or whatever. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
I've got a bunch of questions for you, and hopefully don't slip up and accidentally like mention a name you're not supposed to. I wouldn't want to have to take the whole
Under
thing
NDA.
down. Yeah. But that is actually a lot, and I think it's really cool that you were able to that you have an opportunity to also work kind of in influencer marketing, which is like obviously more related with social media. So,
Yeah.
do you work? Is this a full-time or part-time position?
Yeah, so it's part-time for when I'm at school. So I've worked kind of halfway through the fall semester and then all through the spring it's going to be part-time. And then once it hits summer, it's going to be all full-time. So
Nice.
it's almost like a year internship, but yeah.
That is
kinda,
solid. Wow.
Yeah.
Most people, they only get the three or 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky.
And are you with a cohort of interns, or for now, is it mostly just under supervisors?
Right. I'm currently like by myself. I'm just with supervisors, but there are like other interns within like the gaming department. I just haven't worked with them on any projects yet. I don't know if there's ones in the future. I know that like HR wants us to all be a part of something soon. So, but yeah, I'm sure we'll all work in a project soon. But right now, it's just working with my supervisors.
Cool. And what would I kept looking down as you were explaining your role, but that was because I was trying to keep track of essentially what you've done. Could you give us one example? You're mentioning your support related tasks, maybe filling out or compiling data. What would be like an example of that?
Yeah. So, yeah. Let me try to. I'm trying to I think okay. So my company works with like Tableau. It's just like a data.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how to explain it well, but it's just a website that has like data that all of your company has basically. So let's say like my manager needs me to take all the market share from, our company for like, let's say just for headsets for the year. So he just wants me to just compile all that data maybe into an Excel sheet and just to do it. He even like sometimes has me do it for like all of the products that we do is one of the projects that he has me doing right now. But it's kind of just stuff like that, just reviewing data for each product or just to see, that is, I don't know how much I can say. But
Tell me if this is kind of what you're saying. You'll pull data. And also, where is this data? If someone told me, can you pull the market share of these certain products? I'd be like, how on earth am I going to find that?
Well, Tableau, they have like a section, so it'll have a graph when you immediately like log in. So like you can say what you want. So if I say, I want the market share for headsets, and you can also see all the competitors. Say like Razer, it shows Razer, Kingston, I think it's another company. Like it'll show everyone. So there's little like tabs that you can click. You can say, I only want headsets, and it'll show all the headsets in the whole market, basically. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
so you can like filter it out depending on what you want. Even you can filter out like quarter one from like 2021, and it'll show up that data. So you can.
So
Yeah.
there's like a dashboard in Tableau, and are you building separate? Are you reorganizing the data for your supervisor in Tableau, or pulling it out of Tableau into like an Excel sheet and
Yeah,
giving?
I'm just pulling it out of Tableau into like a Google Sheet or Excel sheet, just for them to have on record. Sometimes they like to show it in presentation slides to see how that quarter's doing. Usually I'll do it that way, but yeah.
Great. I always ask, some people might think, why on earth are you caring about the administrative tasks? I personally think they're really important because, jobs are always asking, are you familiar with Tableau or
Yeah.
Figma, all these different sites. So thank you for sharing that. And as for your newsletter, I think that's awesome,
Yeah.
partly because, this is going to become a newsletter. So how have you enjoyed building, that's content marketing. How have you enjoyed
Yeah.
that?
At first it was really hard because they wanted it to be sent out like as an email to a lot, like just a list of people in our department or even just in the gaming section. And I was like, I don't even know how to do that. So I had to like try to like figure this out. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is hard. And so I was like on YouTube trying to figure it out. And I found out this like, it was like called like Cloud HQ or something, and it was hard to even like edit it, so that took a while. And my manager was like, you know what, let's just scrap that, because one of his like, I don't know, one of his coworkers was saying that they wanted to start using this like Google website creator, so I just slapped my newsletter onto that, so it made it so much more easier. So but yeah, it was a lot of fun to kind of get creative with how I want, the layout to look like, and
Yeah.
what I want in it. Of course, like my manager wanted specifics inside of it, but I got to like kind of choose the content that I wanted to. I just like being creative in that way, so it was fun to do.
How long is this kind of like an every month thing, every week? How long is it?
Yeah, they want it to do possibly monthly, so I just finished like this month, so hopefully, it continues on. And
so your manager might say, we need to include X number of events that occurred, and can you essentially recap? Can you go find the info and recap these things and make it nice? Is that sort of like how you might be assigned one of these newsletters?
yeah, and sometimes they'll even say like, hey, we just had an event, and he'll like give me like the picture of it, and I'll just need to like type it out and kind of explain what happened at that event. He doesn't really say exact number that I need. I kind of look at it and see like, oh, maybe I need, an extra piece right here. So I'll reach out to, someone in the department saying like, I reached out to someone who does like the racing and simulation. I'm like, hey, I think something racing would look good on this. Do you have any content I can put in? So I kind of just reach out to people if they have anything that they've done and they think that would look good in the newsletter. So
nice. That's the way to go. And for your influencer marketing stuff, you have a mentor, so you're clearly being taught. You gave two examples, one which is in the works and one which was with Captain Sparkles, which is insane. Would you say you've been doing a lot of, is a majority of it kind of education, like shadowing this mentor with a few like those projects, or has it been, were you just like thrust into immediately having to work on that Captain Sparkles project?
yeah, I've been shadowing her since I started. Like I would hop on calls with agencies that work with, influencers. So I would have like no idea what they were talking about, but I'd just be like nodding and like being like, okay, yes, I belong here. But like she doesn't expect me to like understand what they're talking about, but she helps me like say like, oh yeah, this is what happened in this, and like this is what we're talking about, and how we, think how many deliverables that this influencer needs to do. But yeah, I enjoy, shadowing her, but for the giveaway, she just said stalk them and, write notes, and we'll come together and see, what we come up with. So, like, all she really said was, stalk the person, and we'll see, and we, like, work together and what we think would be good for sending out, gifts for the people, so.
So okay, first of all, when you said stalk, I was like, S-T-O-C-K, like stalk who? No, literally.
No, stalk, like go on Instagram.
So I'd imagine, Captain Sparkles became a huge focus of yours, and were you just looking for, what exactly do you look for when you, stalk someone for the purpose of influence marketing? What are you kind of noting down?
I was just, so I already knew of Captain Sparkles. I know he was really big on YouTube for, like, Minecraft content, so I'm like, okay, maybe I need to do something Minecraft related, but is that, like, kind of weird since that was a little bit ago, but he's still doing it, but I tend just to look for, if I was stalking his Twitter a lot and Instagram, but I was specifically looking for if he mentioned something that he really liked, or just in, like, looking at his Instagram, he really likes fitness. I was scared sending him a cake in case he was like, oh my god, this is, like, a lot. This is not the right gains I need. So I was, like, I was like, do I need to keep that in mind? But, it's his birthday. He deserves, a cheat day.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I was just on the lookout for anything they may be interested in. For example, one of our partners that I was already stalking him because we were going to do a birthday gift for him, but we just didn't have time. He was, oh my god, what was his name? He was from Holes. Zero, the kid from Holes.
Oh, I know exactly. I don't know that real actor's name.
I keep on forgetting his
like
real name. I'm so sorry. He's not watching this.
Zero was one of the main characters.
Yeah.
With Shia LaBeouf. Yeah,
he was. He was like the kid who... Okay, Cleo Thomas. So sorry, Cleo. He's not watching. So I was stalking, and I found out he really loves mac and cheese, so I literally wanted to send him, like, 50 boxes of Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that ended up just not having enough time to do that. But
that one got tabled. Okay.
Yeah. Or I was going to send him peaches, like a peach pie, because he was eating peaches in the movie. I want to do something funny, but we didn't have enough time, so I was sad on that one.
You think of these ideas and then propose them, obviously, to, I think you said Kayla was her name.
Emily.
Emily. Okay,
yeah, no worries.
And they've accepted them, obviously, and then you proceed with... So the cake idea was yours as well.
Yeah, well, we went back and forth.
There was a brainstorming, of course.
Yeah, it's not like it's like a for sure thing. She's like, oh, just write some notes of what you think might be good. And then we set up another meeting, like a brainstorm meeting, and she goes, maybe not that one. And, but yeah, we brainstorm, and there's no, like, dumb question, or no dumb, like, ideas around her, that's what I really like about working.
It's a great atmosphere.
Yeah, so, like, I literally was like, let's send him peaches, let's send him onions. I was literally going to send him onions because I eat onions.
Oh my gosh. Did that one get...
Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of fun to work with her, and there's not a weird, like, environment or feeling like I need to, like, be so professional all the time around them. But yeah, it's definitely a collaboration effort for this. Great.
Well, it sounds like you definitely do a lot here at Logitech. And personally, I think your job sounds awesome. And I'm happy that you got it. You actually sound like you're doing a good job and that you're appreciative of it. So now, moving more towards kind of what you think of your role, what do you think is the most valuable thing that you've learned at this internship so far?
I think the most valuable thing, and I feel like I say this for, like, kind of every internship I go to, but I kind of always forget, is that, like, don't feel the need to, like, to know everything, or don't feel like when you go into an internship, like, you can't ask questions, or if you're afraid to ask questions, because I think that's the one way that I've learned so much is I ask questions even if like it sounds stupid. Like I don't care. Like I'll literally be like, "How do you do this?" And it's like how to like do Excel. Like basically, I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like I literally will ask them, and they're glad to help me. And it's I've learned so much so far, and I think it's okay to be vulnerable in that way, and that no one's expecting you to know everything. And I think that oftentimes we forget that, and we're interns. We have an excuse not to know everything. So yeah, it's good to, and I even like 7 months in, I'm still like, how do you do this? So I'm never afraid to ask questions, and they love answering questions. So.
And so, given your experience that you've had so far, nearing 7 months, like you said, has this opportunity solidified where you want to go for your career? Like, has it influenced now? Yeah, essentially, do you know? Mm-hmm. Have you narrowed down where you want to go for a career?
Yeah, so definitely, like I said before, when we first started, I wanted to do more like community management and kind of social media, and definitely working with my mentor, Emily. She helped me realize that I really enjoy this type of work. I love being creative, and it doesn't feel like work to me, and I think that's like what I'm looking for, and it definitely makes me want to go towards that route. I don't know, influencer route, but definitely doing more community management and social media marketing is a lot of fun for me.
And if you were to give advice to someone who wanted to get a similar position as the one you have now, or advice for someone who's applying to internships in general, what advice would that be?
I would say to really work on your LinkedIn account. Make sure that you're adding all the experience that you've done. Even when it comes to like school projects that you're really proud about, add that in and add pictures in. And also, if you feel like you don't have enough experience, like how I felt like a year ago, join clubs that will reflect what you want to do in the future, and that's experience. Like it doesn't matter if it's not like at a real job or real place; it's still experience. And also something kind of like I've learned this semester in one of my classes is to work on your personal brand, and I felt like I was kind of scared to enter that realm. Like on LinkedIn, I'm like more present, and I recently started like my own gaming newsletter just to get out there.
What?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I share like my hot takes on games, and I'll be doing like game reviews too. So anything that really makes you like creative and gives you more experience, I would definitely tune into that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think you just have to like know, you don't need to know exactly what you want, but make sure that like your personal brand matches up with, what you want to do with the future. So
awesome. Yeah, that's solid advice. And for sure, I'm going to subscribe, if it's all right with you, to
go ahead.
That sounds super cool. But, that is it for today. We're going to wrap it up here. And I want to say for everyone watching, you are welcome to. I'm sure Julia would appreciate if you had any questions. You could probably reach out to her through LinkedIn. We'll include that somewhere
Feel
below.
Free.
And yeah, with that being said, Julia, thanks for coming out. I had a fantastic time, and I wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, anyone can message me. I love talking to people, so feel free to message me on LinkedIn.
There you go. You heard her. All right. Take care.
All right, bye.